Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Awesome, guys. Well, first of all, I want to really send a big thank you to inviting me to this. I feel really honored to be able to speak to you guys today. I actually even wrote notes. I'll be the first one to admit that I'm not a note guy. Like, I totally would rather just wing it and go for it. And it may steer that way before going, but I do. If you see me looking up, I got this fancy little board up there that I put all these notes on. I'm sitting there looking at that going, that's garbage. But it's not. It's really, really good. But whether I can follow it or not. But first of all, I want to share with something to you guys. I have two different roads I'm going to take with this today. First of all, it's the committed and the big mo, which if you've never heard of the big mo, it's the big momentum. And if you have it, it's like no other. And I want to share a little bit about it because those of us that have had it, it's undescribable. But there's a lot of people that have never had it. So I'm hope today that I'm going to share some things that maybe you can get it. What's up, Randy? I see a lot of people jumping on, and thank you for taking your lunch break out or midday to share with us. And Natasha, thank you so much, you and Susan, for putting this on for us and being such strong leaders for people to follow. And I'm hoping that today that I can share some of that with you on getting the big mo and committed. But also I'm going to turn it, I think I probably should do this at the beginning of why this is important. You never know what life's going to hit you with. I mean, you look what we're in right now in this with the COVID, and it has dramatically changed lives across the world. You see a lot of people saying the new normal. I don't agree with that. This is not the new normal. I don't believe that at all. I think they want you to believe that, but I don't believe that's true. This is going to have a cure. It's going to go away. Things are going to get back to normal. So don't fall into the new normal because that's what they want you to fall into. But we're not going to get on that side of it. But let me share with you about you never know what's going to hit. The last few years, my life has just been totally different. And that's why today I really wanted to lead with the commitment and the big mo. Because a lot of you may or may not know, but a few years back, my mom was diagnosed that she had 2 bad lungs. She needed a lung transplant. This was all of a sudden. We were actually on a lifestyle getaway in Vegas, and my dad had just passed away in December, and we were in Vegas. It's the first time my mom had got to go on a trip. She's been with Lavelle with me for 6 years. But on this trip, she kept trying to walk with us, and she kept saying, I can't hardly breathe, son. I must just be out of shape for taking care of Dad the last couple of years. I got to go back to the hotel. And then later the day, she would try to go with us, and she couldn't get around. She couldn't do it. She's just like, I can't breathe. She said, this is crazy. I'm so out of shape. Well, when she got back home, she went to the doctor, and just instantly the doctor started running all kinds of tests, and we're like, look, you got 2 bad lungs. One is not functioning at all, and the other one is just barely working. You need to be on oxygen right now, and your life is dramatically going to change. You got to get on a lung transplant list, and we got to hope that you make it that long. So life changed. Mom instantly just moved in with us. We started looking to buy another house to be able to accommodate for her. And I'm very thankful for this business that I put blood, sweat, and tears into this, a passion to get to where I was in the point of this company. And that's where I'm wanting to lead with this today, because you don't know what you're going to be hit with, and you have to be prepared. And this company gives you the road and the avenue to be prepared if you take full advantage of it. If you don't, you're going to wish you would. And we don't want you to be a wish. We want you to join us and do this for your family. So the last couple of years has been just totally different, of what it would have been like that, I considered. But my mom did get a new lung. She's doing phenomenal. She built an addition next to it. She built a new house. She can't go out because of COVID, because having a lung transplant, if she gets COVID, she knows she's gone, or she can't handle it. So she's having to take several precautions, which is good. That she's doing a great job at that. But as far as health, she's doing phenomenal. But let me throw another roadblock at you. I'm trying my best not to get emotional here, but it's probably going to be hard. Just yesterday, about 5 in the morning, my son comes downstairs. I have a senior in high school. He's sobbing, just crying, just screaming, crying at 5 a.m. Misty thought he was sleepwalking, and it was like, I think he's sleepwalking because he's done that in the past. And I was like, no, he's crying. And he come into the room, and after several minutes, he couldn't even talk. He was just sobbing so bad. And one of his best friends was killed in a car wreck. And another curveball that you don't know that's going to happen to you. It just happens. And so we're over at the house all yesterday morning with the mom and tons of his friends. They're all there. But I just see parents that are there that are all emotional like me, of course, but they're scrambling. You know, like one mom said, I can't take off work. I've already missed too many days. One dad is calling his office, which is another good friend of ours, and I gotta find a way. I hope they let me miss today. You know, things are very serious at work right now, and I'm in the oil field, which is already a business that's failed, in huge trouble. And he was like, I don't know if they're going to let me take off today, but I have to be here for my son. And I'm sitting here watching these people going, I'm glad that's not what I have to do right now. I'm glad that I took the opportunity that was given to us in this company. So let me try to clear myself, because it's been I even thought about not doing this today. I was like, I don't know if I can even need to be doing this, but I do need to be doing this. People need to know that what we have that's out there for us to do. And so let me share that with you today. I see a lot of people saying prayers. Thank you so much. It was devastating, but there's a purpose for it. We don't know it and we don't understand it, but there is a purpose for it. God has a plan for some reason. So we just got to take care of our boys right now and make sure that they're okay, and just be there for them. So I'm glad I'm in the position that we can do that, do things for the boys and be here for them, and not have to worry about a job or taking off or anything like that. So let's get into what I want to talk about and being committed on this. I would tell you right now, being in the position I've been in the last 6 years in this company, you have to go all in. You have to jump, and you have to dive into this company. Stop sticking your toes in the sand. Stop just dipping your feet in the water and deciding if this is what you want to do. You're here for a reason, and that reason is to change as many lives as possible. So you need to do everything you can do to take advantage on changing lives, but in the meantime, it's going to completely change your family's lives in the process. So we start promoting this business because we love it. And I'm hearing somebody else jumping in. Maybe we can get that muted, but we do this to change lives, but in the process, like I said, it's going to change your lives. But let me ask you this. Do you want this? I would say if you're watching this that you do. But I have to ask this, though. How bad do you really want it? A lot of people say they want it until it comes the weekend and they decide they want to go out Friday night. Saturday, they decided they want to go to the lake and hang out and have some fun with friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And then Sunday, maybe you go to church or they have family day, and next thing you know, that gets away from them. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they really didn't do much at all. So I would ask, do you really want it? And that's what I'm going to come with at you today, of how committed are you? What's your level of desire? And I've talked about this a lot of times. And I'm going to go back several years ago when I was, we had the Big Mo as a team. Team was just going nuts. And that's why I love to talk about the Big Momentum, the Big Mo. But the commitment level of people used to really make me mad, because I was all in. I mean, I lived, eat, sleep, and drink this business. I had a saying that I used to say, I don't have an 8 to 5. I have from the time my eyes are open till they're shut. That's how I lived this business for a long period of time. And it was amazing. I would not take it back for anything. But here's the level of desires. I don't really care anymore what people's levels of desires are, because I can't change it. I used to think that I could change it, and it would aggravate me. And as a leader, even, I would get mad at people in my organization, because I was like, what are you doing? Come on, like, let's get to work. Let's do this. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. Come on, let's do this with me. And I would get aggravated at them because I'm like, you're just letting this opportunity just slip through your hands. Well, I've since realized that doing this for a long time, you can't change what people want. They only are in control of what they want to do. And you got to step back and you got to do everything you can do and be a leader so they can follow you. And if they choose to follow you, they will dive in and do it. You can't make them, I promise you. So how committed are you? What's your level of desire? And you have to decide that. What am I willing to give up and what am I willing to do to be able to get to this next level of this company? Because everybody at the top of this company, every leader that's on here, that's on the top, everybody you see that you probably just love to follow, that inspire you, that motivate you. I said this on Natasha's call last year. We're not here to motivate you and inspire you. We're here to help you go do what we did to get to the top. So yes, we can share stories that you probably say motivate you and inspire you, but we only inspire you or motivate you if you go do it. If you don't go do it, we didn't motivate you and we didn't inspire you. It's just another story that sounded cool that probably can't be you. But I'm here to tell you that it can be you, but you have to decide, because none of us are special. You know, I love to share with people, you know, I was just a poor boy from Oklahoma. That actually the community I'm from was considered the poorest area in the state of Oklahoma. So don't use where you live or anything like that as an excuse, because it's not true. It's just something in your mind. People will do this if you have the passion and desire and they can feel it and they can notice it. So let me get up here to my board and tell you what you can do. I'm fixing to dive into the big mo, but you have to invest your time. You have to decide this is what you really want. Write it down. What do I want for my family? How could this change my life? Financial freedom. But in the process, I get to change a lot of lives in the process of it. So time always comes down to people having an excuse of time. You've heard Paul say this numerous times. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's what you decide to do with those 24 hours that make a decision. And here's where the big momentum is fun. But how can I get to the big mo is investing your time. When can I do this? My wife will tell you all the years, I still do it today. In the shower, I watch videos. I learn. I listen to motivation speakers. I learn sales techniques. Before I get in the shower, I put a video in there and I will watch that video every single day. That's what I do in the shower. So there you go. That's a time for me to learn while I'm taking showers. I call it mobile university. If you're in the car, you don't need a radio. You don't need music. If you don't have a high level of desire and you want to listen to music, then that's your level. I'm okay with it. But if you want to get to the next notch up, you need to be listening to something in the car that's going to change your life. Who can you put on your Bluetooth or on a CD or something that's going to, you're going to be able to listen and feed your brain with what you need to be hearing to get to the next level. Because this is stuff you have to do constantly. Courtney talked about it yesterday, how much, how it's proven of what you're studying and what you're reading and stuff is going to develop your future. Music does not develop your future. I'm telling you, it does not. It's awesome. I love music with the best of them. But I turned my car into mobile university for years and years. When I was in my car, I was learning. I was listening. I was feeding my brain with the good stuff. Before bed, after bed, when your family, if you have a busy morning, you got to get up an hour earlier and you got to do stuff. At night, when they go to bed, you got to stay up 1 or 2 hours extra and do stuff. So here's the thing about momentum. I'm going to dive into this right fast, and then hopefully this will help you. How do you get the big momentum, especially from scratch? That's what a lot of people want to know. Well, how can I even get this? But if you have momentum and your team is killing it, I like to reference right now, I've seen Susan actually she's got some new teammates that's just killing it. But I love watching Courtney Glacier. I have her starred as somebody that I see all the time. She's killing it right now. Her team is just growing tremendously. It's fun to watch. People want to be a part of that. And at that point, if you get to that level, sleep is not an issue. You could care less to sleep. Like, I didn't care. I used to not go to bed till 2 a.m. I'd be back up at 5 with no alarm. It's just you have this beating in your heart that you just want to you can't stop. You want to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's something You can't make yourself have it. It attacks you, and then it's awesome. But here's how you can do it from scratch. Many times, big momentum is the difference between winning and losing. And I want to explain what momentum is to you, that if you don't even understand it, it's a difference of like sports teams. If you're watching your favorite sports team, basketball is easy to reference. I'm more of a football guy, but it happens in football, but basketball a lot. If you see a team like losing like 15 to 20 points, like the whole game, they're just getting their butts whooped. And next thing you know, they make a big shot or get a big foul, and the team goes on a massive run and just comes back from 15 to 20 points and win. You see that in the NBA and in college basketball all the time. That's called big momentum. That means momentum is happening, and when momentum is happening, you can't stop it. It's like a train just out of control. Your team does hardly nothing wrong. Everything just goes right. Even if it shouldn't have went right, it did go right. But on the opposite side, it's also true when you're in a slump. No matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you work or what you do, it just seems that nothing is working. You're in a slump. Same as the sports teams. When they're winning this whole game and then all of a sudden their team catches fire, they cannot stop them. Even if they're a better team, once you have momentum, it is unstoppable. It's unstoppable. So let me just share, what can you do from scratch? How can I get this on my side? First of all, you have to fully engage. You have to dive all in and decide. Again, maybe you've been here for a while and you're like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta redo this. Maybe you're new and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. You have to decide what your goals are, what you want. But here's what you have to do. It takes a true leader to commit or to create momentum. You know, a leader creates momentum. So if you're a leader, you're gonna have to create it. A follower can catch it. A follower will catch it. Everyone can enjoy the benefits of momentum. It's just like your whole team just starts gravitating and just things just start going right. They start getting all kinds of samples. They start getting all kinds of free customer accounts. Next thing you know, they're getting all kinds of orders. Next thing you know, VIPs are happening. Next thing you know, 4K is happening, 12K is happening. And it's just like, what is going on with this team? I want to be like them. They have momentum. And that's unstoppable. And that's what you have to do as a leader. You have to create it. But here's what it requires. Someone with a vision. You have to have a vision of what you want. Someone that can assemble a team. Somebody that can motivate a team and definitely motivate others. You want people watching you and is motivated to see what you're doing. So you're going to have to create that. Keep in mind, this is kind of a gut punch. Susan, I just look at you here. I'm thinking of this, but if you're out there and you think you're a leader, but you're looking for someone to motivate you, or you think your team is going to get motivated without you, your team's in big trouble. It's just not going to happen. You have to motivate yourself. You have to decide this is what you really want, and that is a decision. And that's when you can come fully committed and decide that I'm going to dive into this and just give it everything I have. What's the least I can lose is time. That's the least thing that you can lose diving into this is just your time. And your time's going to go by with you doing this or without. So you might as well just put the time in to changing your family's life for sure. But a few more things, and I'm pretty much done here. But I love this saying, you got to get in the kitchen and you got to make some heat. So you got to get in your business. You got to turn on the fires and you got to start the heat. You got to get a flame going. And that's, I compare it to like a campfire. If you're building a fire in your house, what happens? You put the wood in, you have no fire, and you get this little kindle, right? They got these little starters, and you get these little starters going. And next thing you know, you got a bigger fire, all right? It starts growing. But how can that fire keep going? You got to keep stoking the fire, right? You got to keep still putting wood on there. You got to keep going. You can't sit back and quit or that fire's going to die out. So you got to get in there, stoke the fire, get in the kitchen, build some heat, and get going. So here's what it takes. You have to have vision, passion, and enthusiasm. And that all starts with energy. you're going to have to step up your energy levels. You're going to have to step up your game and get people to buy into what you're doing, but they're going to have to see it. And the only way you can do that is, you got to have fun. You got to have fun in this business. Really, you do. It's got to be passion, but you got to bring the heat all the time. I see Courtney always doing Facebook Lives and interviews and Zooms, and just the way she posts gravitates people to her. That they are winning. So you got to start small and start building this fire and start cooking and start get this heat going. And it's going to be tough. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be tough, but you can't quit after a few days, or you can't quit after a week or two. You have to commit to this and decide this is what you're going to do and go all in. So here's what you're going to do. You ready? You're going to plug in and you're going to get all involved in this business. You're going to get all up in this business. All right. You don't want to miss anything. As many lives as you can be on, as many Zooms as you can be on, as many team calls as you can get on, anything Lavelle Lives, anything you see happening, Jason, Paul, any of your leaders, you have to just get all involved in what's going on. Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. So the only way to keep this stuff firing in your cylinders and firing in the back of your head is you have to be on things all the time, just fully engaged and participating. You're going to have to share stories. You're going to have to do Facebook Lives and Zooms. You're going to have to do team calls, team Zooms, team meetings. You're going to have to share people winning, share what the good things are happening in this company, but people from your team, even if it's small wins. Who got free product today? I'm posting this on my team page. I actually already wrote it down too. I'm going to do it today too, just because I need to, is who got free product today? I need to know who on my team got free product. All right. That's a win. There's people out there right now that want this product, but say they can't afford it or don't know how to get started, but free inspires people. And if they see a whole bunch of people getting it for free, shout out your team today that got it for free. That's what I'm going to be doing also. But my main thing that Susan wanted me to talk on, and some people believe this and some people don't. Courtney's one that don't believe this, and she's killing it. So I can't say it ain't right. But for me, it didn't work that way. But Messenger will make you a millionaire. That's one quote I said on stage a few years ago, is Messenger will make you a millionaire. I have to get all up in my text messages. I have to get up all in my Messenger, and I have to message people all the time, whether it's business, whether it's just sending them a message about something I seen they posted on Facebook. It doesn't matter, but you have to stay connected and stay involved with people through Messenger, in my opinion. Now, if you can just post on Facebook and you can kill it, then just do it. I'm not going to say not to do it. But for me, and from what most people I've seen, that don't really work that well. I mean, I can't just get a high PPA by posting on Facebook. That never worked that way for me. But if I get up in the Messenger and message people, it always seems to work. It always just seems to get you people for sure. So that was kind of my little share with you guys today. I hope that you can catch the momentum, but you got to get out and get in that kitchen and get some flames going. So Susan, thanks for having me. And if you have questions, let's shoot for it.
Well, here's what the big question is going to be is, Billy, what do you send in the Messenger? And I know he gets asked this all the time.
Yeah.
And is there a perfect message?
No.
What do you say?
And here's the thing. Here's what I say to that. The only bad message is no message.
Exactly.
That's the only bad message, because here's the thing. Just send the message. Somebody just said that. Just send the message. There's no way it's going to be perfect. And everybody's going to be different because you don't know what stages people are in their life. If there was a perfect message, everyone on here would be millionaires. I mean, no one can give you the perfect message. All you have to do is just send the message, but people have to believe it. You have to be backing it up on your social media. They have to see the excitement level. They have to see the vision. They have to see the passion. They have to believe you. So that's the biggest thing. But getting in there and sending the message is what will work. And I'm sorry I can't give you a perfect message, but the message is just send something.
And just so y'all know, he kind of brought down the house of 20,000 people when he said that, because everybody was just waiting for him to say, what message do I send? What do I say? Billy's personality is different than my personality. Our message probably have the same thought process behind them, but they're not the same. We're two different worlds. So it was so bold and so, it hit me so hard that I have not forgotten about him saying that. Like, I use it all the time. Just send the dang message. It doesn't matter what it is. You got to send messages. Millionaires are made in messenger. I say it all the time. And I quote him all the time. So that's why I made him say it today. It's very important.
Yes,
check real quick and see if there's any comments in here. Message, Betty Shelton said, message that shows interest in them. That's very true. And you don't always have to cold message. Now, sometimes it comes down to a point where you do, but most of the time it's building that relationship. We often say we try to start 10 to 30 conversations a day in Messenger.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's overwhelming. I said this the other day, if your Messenger is so full you can't keep up, that is the best feeling in the world. If it's still blank and no bold things are coming up, you haven't done enough. See, Billy shared that from the stage, and I've never forgotten that. I shared that with my team and modified it to say the best message you can send is the message you send with confidence. Make sure it sounds like you. Be real and be you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Well, Billy, we super appreciate you jumping on today. I'm sorry of what's going on in your world. But thank you for still showing up today, guys. That should be just a big testimony right there, and how much he thinks about this business and took the time to share with all of you. So the recording will be up later. Thanks again. Prayers for you and your family.
Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Bye.